YouTube. This is your boy Alex, and we're back in our original setting. I apologize for the disappointment of those other videos. I know that's not what you guys expected in the middle of the day. I apologize. And we're in regular filming setting. I like to film in the living room, and I like to film outside, and I like to film at the park. And when those places are not available to film, then only then I have to go film in the backyard. I don't like filming in the restroom. It's very awkward, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable filming there. Alright, to make up for those three other videos, these are two more videos, but they're all for Sunday's smash mouth, in your face NFL football. Because I know a lot of y'all been wanting to get to some football. You know, the NBA season is concluded and the NBA playoffs is almost over, and the next big sport is professional football. Now, I know some people are going to say, but there's the politics. Look, I don't talk about politics on this channel. I have no interest whatsoever in talking about the politics in any sport. I don't like politics in none of my sports. Not in my movies, not in my television shows. On this channel, when we talk about basketball, football, baseball, it's 100% sports, no bullshit. Some people might get offended by that. Oh well, I just don't want to hear about politics. Sports, there's a reason why this channel talks about sports and sports only. So let's get into it. This one's going to be the Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this right here is going to be quite interesting. These are two teams that actually made the playoffs. Like, people was actually shocked that the Browns actually were winning football games this past season and was kicking ass and taking names. Their offense from out of nowhere got real good. Their defense from out of nowhere just got solid, and they started winning football games on the road, at home. They started beating football teams that you just don't expect. Like when they beat, I can't remember, but I think they beat either the LA Chargers or the Raiders when they wasn't expected to. And then they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, something that was like a shock to us. And then they would actually beat teams in their division. And had they not lost too many games towards the end of the season, they probably would have actually made it to the playoffs, and who knows what that team could have done. So they got some promise, they got some potential. And I think this season we're going to find out that was that for real or was that a fluke. We're actually going to get a chance to actually see what the Cleveland Browns can really do. I mean, what we saw this past season was good, but they got a bright future. They got a quarterback. They got a wide receiver. Now, are they like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers? No, but they do have a wide receiver and quarterback nevertheless. They're going against their division rival, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I got the Baltimore Ravens winning this football game because they got Stephon Jackson. That's a team that actually was just, I don't know how to put it. That team was just whooping everybody's ass. I mean, okay, they beat the Patriots when Tom Brady was still there. You know, he beat a former Super Bowl champion. He beat the Patriots. He beat the Green Bay Packers. I mean, he was just putting a whooping on all these football teams. And the one team that can kind of stop the Baltimore Ravens from advancing to the Super Bowl was, if I'm not mistaken, you guys might have to correct me in the comment section, was either the Houston Texans or the San Francisco 49ers, because they had beat both those teams twice in the season, but when they got into the playoffs, they lost to one of those teams, and everyone wanted to see the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And instead, we ended up seeing the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And people kind of said that if the Baltimore Ravens had played in the Super Bowl or had gone to one, you would have saw a different result. You would have saw the Baltimore Ravens win a third championship in 16, 17 years of their franchise. So I think this is called a statement football game. The Baltimore Ravens are going to come out of the gate fast. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, they're powerful. They have a power game. Their offense is still solid and strong. Their defense is good. And the quarterback is not going to make the same mistake that he made last season. I mean, there were some games that he did lose that he should have won, and they're going to learn from their mistakes. What I like about Baltimore is that they always get better every season. And every other year or every other 2 years, they find themselves in a Super Bowl. I think this time you're going to see the Baltimore Ravens actually win every game their season and go straight to the playoffs and beat every contender that they face. I mean, it hurts when you lose one game and that one game could have got you to the Super Bowl. It hurts. I mean, it's like taking a girl out to lunch or dinner or going into a nightclub and trying to mac to this one chick and then you get rejected in front of everybody. That's what it felt for the Baltimore Ravens. And for the Cleveland Browns, if they beat Baltimore, it makes a big statement that what we saw last season was for real and not a fluke. As for Baltimore, it's can you do that one more time and go back to the play? I believe that either this season or next season, Baltimore Ravens will go to another Super Bowl and win the championship. Now, I think they're going to win. The score is going to be 32-22. Cleveland is going to try to score some points in the first two quarters, but I think in the end, Baltimore wins 32-22 because it's going to be a competitive game, and Baltimore is going to want to try to be undefeated for at least the first 6 or 7 games of the season because we had like 3 or 4 teams last season for almost 3 weeks that were undefeated, right? And Baltimore wants to do that because if they can win 4 or 5 or 6 games in 6 weeks and try to end the season by getting a record of 12-3 or 10-3, then that's good because then they can get a spot where they can have the advantage throughout the playoffs. And I think that's what Baltimore's goal is going to be.